One of my good friend's wife is in love with me. They have been married and have 3 kids. And she has told me that she is willing to leave all of that to be with me. If that info got out, I know at least 4 people whose lives would be turned upside down. Doesn't make it better that I'm a chick and I'm 15 years younger than she is.
Oh my god. Yo, what's good guys? Kelvin here. I am back again with another Reddit story, and today we are about to be looking at what life ruining secrets you've been keeping. So any of these secrets, if you get out there, man, it's gonna ruin their life. So it must be a pretty dark secret. I'm really excited about this video. Hopefully you guys can get this video an early thumbs up. Really help out the channel. And yeah, let's get right in with the show.
I posted this in an AskReddit thread before, but it fits the criteria, so I put it here as well. A new girl came to our school from England and her reason for coming was just for studies. She was smart and she was taking 3 AP classes, so it seemed legit. Well, a few months later, I heard my cousin talking about a news report she watched about a thing that was happening to girls in England. The girls were tricked by men, and at the end of it, they would be drugged and then raped. The men would take pictures of her and threaten to show her parents unless she prostituted herself. My cousin said that the girl they interviewed had to live near us as there were some landmarks in the video of our city. I later checked the video and it had confirmed that the new girl at school was her. She came to America to get away from her town where everyone knew what happened to her. I'm the only one at our school that knows.
Dang, that is crazy. Holy crap. She actually escaped to another country just to have a more normal life. Oh my goodness, I feel so bad for the girl. Would you feel bad because I guess he was raped and forced to be a prostitute or something, and she had to escape just to have some common sense and dignity? Oh my goodness.
Teaching high school. A solid C student who is a good kid with not quite enough sense comes up to me after class. Mr. De Radius. I was fishing this morning and forgot I had this in my pocket. Wanted to do the right thing. Goes to hand me a pocket knife. The district has a zero tolerance policy. It's unclear what will happen to this kid. Depends on whether it has happened before. But it will be some pretty bad mojo. The last thing I want is for this kid to learn firsthand at this point in his life that doing the right thing will get you fed into the wheels of a terrible bureaucracy where you will then be ground into dust. So I tell him about the policy and what would happen to him if I weren't me. Then I put the knife in my own pocket, wondering to myself if I'll get fired if I'm caught with it, and give it back to him at the end of the day, with a statement along the lines of, "I never saw this. You're going to go straight home and never bring this back to school, and we're never going to speak of this again." Very rarely do I break or bend any rules or laws. I drive 5 miles under the speed limit. I felt guilty even doing this, but in this case, I could not in good conscience turn this kid in for doing what he was supposed to do.
Dude, that is such a good teacher right there. She actually risked her own life just to save the kid. I mean, if the principal found you with a knife, oh, the police gonna show up. It gonna be a big trouble, you know. The teacher actually did the right thing because he feel like the student is also doing the right thing and should not be punished.
My grandmother always told us her dad was a firefighter who had a heart attack at age 35 and died, and her mom had told her a whole story down to the exact street corner he had the attack on, and I never thought about it. Except it did seem a little strange that no one else in our family had any history of heart disease, much less an early death from it. When she was dying of cancer, her last wish was to be buried next to him, but she didn't know where he was buried, so I told her I would try and help. I did a bunch of research and found out that he actually didn't die of a heart attack, but instead just left my great-grandma, moved to LA, remarried and had a new family. He died there some 30 years after my grandma thought he did. I never told my grandma that her dad abandoned her. Her last memories of him were good ones and she ended up in an orphanage after that, so he really did duck her life over. I'm curious to meet his new family, but I don't think they'd be interested to know he never divorced my great-grandma, so his marriage to their mom was never actually valid.
Oh, that kinda sucks.
Well, I bought my current house from this guy, and now he lives in a bunker underneath the property. The bastard doesn't think I know, but I see him every time he comes and goes in the night. I secretly hide the Ben and Jerry's in the downstairs freezer. My family never gets a taste of the good stuff. Throw away here. One of my best mates, let's call him Charles, deals meth. He doesn't deal in big portions but still enough to destroy people's lives. What I didn't know was that my sister was going through a rough patch and started to buy off him. Charles knew this, however. Due to his family background, he wasn't financially stable and he would often crash at his mates' houses regularly, ergo he kept supplying my sister for the easy cash. I was unaware that any of this was going on at the time. And not only was it ruining my sister's life but also the lives of the other people he was supplying. We first found out about my sister's drug abuse when our parents were going through her room for dirty laundry and found her stash under her bed. We questioned her about it and she insisted that she was only holding it for her friend Jamie to stop her from using. We didn't believe her, so we locked her up in the basement and took the meth to smoke for ourselves because we know that the meth Charles deals is some quality it. When I was younger, I had a lot of problems going on in my life. I couldn't focus on school because I partied and smoked weed a lot. My brother tried to help me, but he couldn't. I found out that one of my brother's friends, named Charles, sold meth for easy money, so I bought some of it and started smoking. My brother quickly found out about it. He stole my meth and locked me in my parents' basement while he smoked it himself.
Oh my goodness.
My buddy, very popular guy, tried to make a move on me on his birthday. We're both guys and really good friends. So as of now I think he's closeted or IDK. Honestly, I've never brought it up. Only to one friend. Never planning on telling anyone. I'm still cool with him and I'm sure he remembers. But that's his business.
That's a good friend.
When I was 10, a family friend molested me until I was 13. I was young and terrified and never told anybody because I knew what it would go down if I did. My mother would have lost it. My brother would have tried to kill the man. And I knew that everyone would want to take him to court. I just wanted it to go away, and a few weeks after I turned 13, he died in a car crash. So, he got what was coming to him. I still haven't told anybody except one person. I was, and still am, afraid to tell my family. Edit. I want to thank all of you. Thank you for all of your kind comments.
Wow. Man, the guy that had a car crash, he deserved every single pain. Okay, why would you molest a 12-year-old, almost 13-year-old girl? You know, she was so young. And you had to molest her. That is the worst thing a human being could do. And she had to basically keep it to herself because she didn't want to tell anybody. And that guy is the family's friend. Oh, this made me kind of mad, you know, hearing about these kind of stuff.
No one admit to a murder this time, please. I found out my father isn't my biological father. My real father died a few years back and I never got to meet him while he was alive. Apparently my mother was in love with him, and once my parents split for a brief period in the early 80s, I was conceived. Once I was born, my mother left him and continued with my father. Nobody knows I know. And I actually found his kids and family on FB. I haven't spoken of this to them or sent a friend request. Occasionally when I'm feeling down I go view their profiles and see how their lives are going. So I have 2 younger half-siblings I've never met. I doubt they know I exist. I'm scared of telling my folks I know in fear of reigniting a fires that have burned out or hurting our relationship deeply. It's crazy, the outpouring of support and people sharing similar stories. It makes me feel not so alone.
Reddit is such a beautiful thing, you know. You can share your story. Even you think you are alone in this world, but when you post it in Reddit, you discover there's a lot of people that have similar situations.
This girl I knew was a bit crazy. Murdered someone by smashing some guy's head in with a brick. Now, the person was trying to abuse her, so I am 100% okay with what she did, but even if she got out of it for self-defense, the police would probably find a lot more to her after the investigation. My grandpa took the job in Saudi Arabia to be closer to his Filipino girlfriend, leaving his brain-damaged wife to suffer her final years in my and my mother's care. My grandma is doing everything she can to get well after her stroke, hoping he comes back home. It's heartbreaking.
That is the most heartbreaking post out of the whole video. You gotta leave your brain dead girlfriend to be with another girlfriend in Philippines. Oh,
Times they give people who weren't around last time to contribute. I knew my friend's uncle was cheating on his wife. Also, he was getting his 14-year-old to drive him around when he was drunk. Edit. Missed some words.
14-year-old to drive around while he is drunk. I mean, when I was 14, I only know how to ride a bicycle. How did he know how to drive a car?
My half-sister molested me until I was 9. She's now married with 2 kids. And I haven't spoken to her in 7 years. And don't intend to. It's not her life I care about. I'd leave her rotting in a ditch if I could. I just can't put my family through knowing what was happening all those years. Edit. For all of you who mean well, this is something that's been with me my entire life. I didn't just move on and forget about it. I haven't had a single day where it didn't cross my mind, or affect how I live my life. I know that it doesn't just affect me. What you need to realize is that I'm not just blocking it out and pretending it didn't happen. Nothing you're going to say hasn't occurred to me before. You need to realize that I've had years to think about this, and you really don't know better. I fight against this every day. I don't want it to dictate who I am anymore. I don't want it to still have power over me. I know I'm coming off as a cockbag, but it's like telling somebody you're depressed, and having them tell you to smile and it'll get better. Your heart may be in the right place, but now, on top of constantly feeling ashamed, or treating me like I'm an idiot, too broken to function, I know my own situation. I didn't come here so somebody could fix it. Throwaway, obviously. When my dad was arrested for domestic disturbance, he had actually attempted to kidnap me that night. He walked into my room and picked me up. I was 5-6, and asked if I wanted to go across the country with him. I excitedly said yes, of course. But then my mom came in with the phone and asked him to speak with the police who were on the line. He put me down and I never told anyone that it could send him to jail if people found out. And if my mom hadn't had walked in at that moment, my life would have been a lot different.
Dang, it is. I totally agree. If your mom was somewhere else, you would have moved to another country that you can't even speak their language or they don't even understand their culture. That would be a totally different place, you know. Oh man, and you were also really young, so you don't even know better.
A little while back I downloaded Tinder to try it out. About the 10th woman who came up was a friend's wife. Walked in on my best friend's wife, ducking her good friend David. These two were going at it, like it was the last days of Rome. And by that, I mean I'm 90% sure he was ducking her in the ass, considering my best friend claims that they don't even pre-form oral on one another. I found that confusing. Frankly, have tried to broach the subject several times. He's cut me off each time. I'm pretty sure he knows. Maybe they have an arrangement. Maybe I'm next. I came into work one day and a female co-worker had been using my computer to Facebook chat. She had went home and accidentally left her Facebook up. So, seeing how it was my office and my computer, I read through some of the She had been sleeping with her boss for months and the conversations were very graphic. Oh yeah,
no.
Boss is married. In one conversation he laughs about how female employee left 5 minutes before my wife came home. Now, boss and I are even as far as rank goes, but we rarely get along and haven't for years. I've always thought he was a douche and this confirmed it. This took place about 3 years ago. We've had several head-to-head arguments since then and I've always known I could absolutely ruin his it if I wanted to. But I've always taken the higher road. He has no idea I have that full conversation still on my computer.
Holy crap. Man, you are such a good guy even though the boss does not treat you that well, but you still keep your head up and be the better person, you know? Man, but the boss is still wrong. I mean, if he cheated on his wife, he can probably cheat on another person too. You know, some guys they never have any commitment in relationship. You know, some guys they all always be royal, and other guys, they just like to play around with other women. That is the truth. But not all guys like to play with women. Some guys are just royal, committed, and really good personality. You just gotta find the guys. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on that bell notification. And my social media link is in the description below. And yeah, my name is Calvin. I see you guys next video.